Hey, what up, Aftershock? Dale here with another devotional. This one is going to be lined right up with what Jordan's been talking about in the Aftershock Lives at 7 p.m. on Sunday nights. Definitely check them out. If you missed any of the last ones, they've all been posted onto this YouTube page, so definitely check them out. Also, you can hit that subscribe button. That way, anytime any new content is posted, you can be sure to check it out. So Jordan's been talking about the prodigal son. That's what these sermons have been about, and I'm actually going to be talking about the story that sets up that story. This is the parable of the lost coin. So we're going to be in Luke chapter 15, verse 8 is where this is going to start. So we're just going to jump right here. Suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Doesn't she light a lamp, sweep the house, and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she calls her friends and neighbors together and says, "Rejoice with me, I have found my lost coin." In that same way, I tell you, there's rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over just one sinner who repents. So this is a cool story just because of how straightforward it is, and there's just also just so much meat to it. So there's the story itself. The bones of the story is just a lady loses a coin, looks for it, finds it, and is excited. And there's just, that's how God feels about us, and that's what Jesus is trying to say. But if you look deeper into it, clearly this lady isn't trying to lose the coin. Just like you don't try to lose anything, it just happens. Sometimes accidents happen. The coin isn't aware that it's lost. The coin didn't run away. The coin didn't go looking for a better life. The coin was just misplaced. And she takes the time to clean her house and look and find this coin, and she's so excited when she finds it, just as maybe we are when we lose something, you know? So the cool thing about this is how different it is in the other stories, because it is a coin that isn't aware that it's lost. Just as Jesus is trying to say that a lot of sinners aren't aware that they have sinned. They're merely that. They are accidents that they have fallen into these cracks. Just as I'm sitting in my truck here, the reason why is because this is where I lose coins all the time. Not because I'm, brave, because I'm mishandling them, but not because I'm trying to lose coins. It's just there's a little crack here between my center console and my driver's seat, and things fall down there. It just takes everything, phone chargers and everything. But if you reach your hand down there, I might get lucky here. Find a old French fry. Oh, there's some change there. Rubber band. Where are you? Ooh, we got a quarter. So this is it's just that. It's a quarter. It's not any less valuable just because it was in between that seat, and it's probably kind of dirty because it was chilling with that old French fry that God knows how long it's been down there. But it's still a quarter. I can take this and still buy something with it. I get a few more of these, I can buy something better. Right now it's probably about a gumball, but if I get like 4 or 5 of them, I can get a sweet tea at McDonald's, and everybody loves sweet tea. So that's what Jesus is trying to get to here, that God is excited to find all these sinners that have fallen through the cracks. And that's kind of what Jesus is trying to say with this coin is it wasn't intentionally lost. It didn't try to get lost. It's basically fell through the cracks. Maybe it was at church. Maybe it was in a community where, it was just so much going on where it was able to stray, or it was able to be misplaced in that nature. And we all should be excited when we find it. And the Pharisees just don't seem to be able to wrap their head around this, and that's why he has to go on and tell the third story. And probably the reason why is just they were just so ingrained in Scripture that they couldn't imagine someone not being aware that they were sinful. But you have to keep in mind that the Old Testament, there's just so many laws, religious laws, that there's no way the average person was able to follow them all. But they felt like you had to. And it probably had a lot to do with the fact that Israel, when it became a nation, it got conquered. And then it became a nation again. Then it got conquered. It became a nation again. And then the king would stray away and follow false idols, and then it would get conquered. So they were really focused on following the laws and knowing all these laws and following to a T, just so they didn't have to worry about being conquered again, and they could be the children that God wanted them to be. And Jesus is saying, you're missing it. That's not how this all worked. You know, we should be excited when we find someone. We shouldn't push them away if they're not following the law. We should accept them. Just like that coin there is just as valuable as it was before. Just doesn't matter where you've been. God's going to bring you back. God's more than willing to bring you back. He's accepting. So if we look back and go Old Testament, we can go to Micah chapter 7, verse 18. And I love this verse. It's, who is a God like you, who pardons sin and forgives the transgressions of the remnant of his inheritance? You do not stay angry forever, but delight to show mercy. Delight to show mercy. God is just as excited that you came back and is more than happy to bring you into his life again. And it's just such a cool verse that I think lines up with this so well. And the Pharisees really should have been thinking that instead of this person's a sinner and should be pushed away and will never be accepted by God, and that they're the reason why Israel can't be a great nation anymore. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys off. Hope you guys dig a little deeper into these stories, and you know, just while we're not at youth group or church, we can still stay in Scripture. So everybody stay safe and take care. Thanks.